Hi folks, this is meant to be an overview as to how to edit pages in the NITARP Cool Wiki. Anyone can view pages in the wiki. In fact, if you Google the right terms, you'll find that even Google can view pages in the wiki. But only people who are members of NITARP and who have an account can edit it. So if you go up in the upper right of any of the NITARP pages, you'll see this is pretty empty and there's not a lot of choices in terms of the tabs for each page, but there's a login on the upper right. Click on that to go ahead and log in. Now, since I've logged in from this computer before, it remembers who I am. In order for you to log in, you should check your email for the username and password that I sent you. Go ahead and log in and you'll see there's a lot more choices that have appeared associated with your account on the upper right, and then a lot more options associated with the page that you're looking at have appeared as tabs on the front of every page. So let's say that we want to actually go through and edit, say, to add a link to the first video in this series that I recorded. So if I scroll down a little bit, there's a guide to NITARP participants for use of the wiki. That's where I want to put a link to the video I've just done. So if I go there, here I found, the page with the content, and I have edit as an option here at the top. So if I click on edit, you'll see I'm dropped into an editor. If you do not see this list of this collection of icons at the top, find another browser. Either upgrade the one that you have or go download Google Chrome or Firefox. Find another browser, because in the projects I've worked with before, that's what I found has been the biggest barrier for people understanding what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about editing, the problem has always come down to the fact that they have not seen these icons. So make sure that you see these icons. Now you'll see here, this is what that page content looks like in wiki text. You can see there's some formatting, okay, and there's some, there's some things that may look a little strange. But if you go back up to the page tab and click on that, you'll find that the original wiki syntax, history, the word history is big. Some bullets are here. You scroll down a little bit more and there's some bold font here. So if we go back into our editor, you'll see history. Here's a header. It's within the equal signs. Here's some bullets that have stars on the first character on the line. And here's that bold text enclosed within triple quotes. Now you may be thinking, how the heck am I going to remember that? Well, that's where these buttons up on top come in handy. So if you think you want to make some bold text, click on the bold text icon and it drops you into the editor getting ready to edit. So if I want to type in new to advertise the new YouTube video I've just made, I can put in that as bold text. Now I want to make a link to the YouTube video. So go over, copy the URL from that, come back over here. Now I want to put in that link. But for someone coming into this page, they don't know exactly what that video is, so I need to add some text explaining what it is. Now, as I recall, the syntax is bracket, bracket, then the URL, then the text you want to use for the link. So we'll put in video overview of the Cool Wiki and close double brackets. Now, if I scroll down a little bit here, it says this is a minor edit. That's true. Save page or show preview. If I'm not quite sure that I've got the formatting right, if I click on show preview, it'll drop me and it says, remember, this is only a preview. Your changes have not yet been saved. But look, I didn't do the formatting right. I still have the brackets in here. So if I scroll down a little bit more, it's dropped me into an editor down at the bottom of the page. So I know that I have too many square brackets. Take out one from both. Scroll down and now I can save page. I could have shown preview again, but I'm pretty sure this is right. So now it says new video overview of the Cool Wiki, and that little icon means the link outside of the wiki. So really, it's not too hard, and you can continue to play around with things, and you can't break it. If you go up here to history, you'll see the entire history of all the edits of this page. This is the current version, and this is the previous version. So if you've done something that you really don't like, you can actually go back and undo. There's the entire editing history of this page here. You can roll back as many versions as you think you need to. Going back to the page, here's that link again. Let's see if we can figure out how to make links within the wiki. Scroll down a little bit. The best way to do it is to find an example. Here we have an example that has links that are within the wiki. You can tell because there's no little icon on the side. You can also tell from reading the text. It says there are portions of the site under current research linked on the left. So here, there's an edit button here. This edit button refers just to this one section. If I edit that section, then I see what the wiki text is for that link. So within the wiki, it's double brackets and then a pipe before the text that's being used as the link, and then a double bracket. So I don't have to actually edit. Now that I've discovered what the formatting is, I can actually go back and simply go back over to whatever other page I want to edit once I've learned that formatting trick. So when you log in, you'll see all these things up on the top. And a red link means that the page doesn't exist yet. For me, my user page, the one that's tied to my username, does exist, but yours doesn't exist yet. So for your homework, what I would like you to do is actually click on your username. If I click on mine, I get a page, and then I have to click edit. But if you click on your red name, you will get dropped into an editor right away. What I want you to do is put in whatever you want on this page. You can put in your job title, you can put in something about yourself, whatever you want. You can put in whatever you want in that page and actually then go and click Save Page so that you can actually see your edits appear. You can also use this as a place to play with formatting. There's also a central place to play with formatting. If you go back to our main page, scroll down to the bottom, there's the main Wikipedia user guide, Wikipedia software users guide here, which has all the information you could possibly need. But we also have a local playground where you can experiment with formatting. Here, it's actually talking about using the signature button, which is really, really useful. If you scroll down a little bit further, there's a place where they're, with examples of formattings, how to make things italics or bold and italics, how to make bullets, how to make font colors. This is a really great place to go and experiment with formatting. But let me talk a few more minutes about the timestamp and signatures. This is going to be very, very, very useful when you are communicating within your team in the context of the current research pages. So for example, if we go to the star formation and bright rimmed cloud pages, we are in the process of assembling our proposal. So in order to try to figure out what information we've added, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can add text in the wiki page itself, or you can use the signature page to keep track of what's going on. So as an example, let's go back to my user page. If I edit that, and I want to leave a date and timestamp indicating who edited it and when. If I go and click on that signature page, note that if I just let my mouse hover, I get a tooltip, so I don't have to play guess the icon. That it'll tell me, oh, that's the signature button. I click on that and I get this funny, wiki text cryptic series of characters. But if I actually go and save the page, it gets resolved as my signature and a timestamp. So that is really, really useful for when you're collecting information, when you're having conversations, and when you're trying to interact with your team or with other people. But as you've already probably figured out, there are a lot of pages on this wiki. How are you going to keep track of who's made what changes when? This actually can be a significant challenge. There's a couple different ways you can do it. One way is you can look at the recent changes page. If you go to this recent changes thing on the left-hand side of every page, it'll show you everything that has happened on the wiki recently. But this is everything for everybody, for all the teams. And sometimes changes happen fast and furious, and sometimes they don't happen so frequently. So that may not always be the best way to find what's recently changed. One way you can do it is you can look at your watch list. Any page that you edit is automatically added to your watch list. If you go to your watch list, it shows you all the changes for all the pages that you have on your watch list. You can also, if you go to your preferences, have the wiki send you an email anytime any of the pages on your watch list is changed. Now, in my case, because I've edited just about every page on the wiki, if I did that, I'd be drowned in email. But maybe this is the best solution for you. Maybe you would like to know, have the wiki mail you every time a page on your watch list is changed. The other way to do it, and the thing that I think works the best, is anytime you make a major change that to one of your group's pages that you think is important and significant. I don't mean like a grammatical error. I mean, hey, I've just uploaded a bunch of images of our target, or I just finished the data reduction and I've uploaded a bunch of photometry. That kind of thing, go ahead and send an email to your team. Add that information to the wiki by all means, and then when you're done, send an email to your team saying, hey, I've done this. That way, you know that everyone on your team knows that you've made a major and significant contribution to the wiki and that they should go check it out.